Tim Saunders with Steve Coates at Skate Zone in Voorhees, and the Flyers set to begin another training camp. Third week of September, they begin with a new head coach behind the bench. That's the biggest change this team has undergone in the summer.
Ron Hakstol went off the board, and he went after a college coach. It's only happened three other times in the history of the National Hockey League. Ned Harkness went from Cornell to Detroit, and then Bob Johnson went from Wisconsin into the National Hockey League, as did Herb Brooks. So now Dave Hakstol has the opportunity to come out of the University of North Dakota, which is a spectacular hockey program. Liken it to playing football for Michigan or Notre Dame. That's how big it is at North Dakota. And he comes in with a lot of credentials. All he's done is won in the University of North Dakota. So it's going to be a great opportunity for him. And it's a great opportunity, I think, for the Philadelphia Flyers to have a guy that's had such a success come in and run their hockey club.
Hakstol is chomping at the bit to get started. That's not hard to understand why he would be. But he says the biggest chore that he's had this summer is to not develop preconceived notions off of video.
No, you can't. And I like that. I like to hear that about, because I don't think a lot of video is good, but then again, it can become too much. And then it becomes a little bit like, well, a chess game. And you don't want, the game's the fastest game in the world. You can learn from video, like he had mentioned. You can learn from it from a positive and a negative, but don't overuse it. And I think that that's a good thing to hear, because then your hockey team and your players individually can be more creative.
Communication is going to be the first thing on his agenda, and he says communicating to the player of today his philosophies, how he wants the game played, and what the payoff is for them.
Well, risk reward. I mean, you got to go out and you got to play the game. And if you work hard, you do what you're told, you're coachable, then you'll be rewarded with ice time. Ice time is the only thing you can get to the players today. I mean, there's no other way, because you can't send to the minors because the cap and the contract. But now, to be able to get a player to work night after night after night, you have to be able to go to their work ethic and their idea that they're members of a team with a big logo on it. And if you follow all those rules and regulations, you'll be successful, because opportunity is what rings the bell.
Ron Hakstol said of his new coach, he is a take charge, no nonsense guy, and the players are going to learn that pretty quickly.
Yes. And you know what? This isn't a country club, and nobody said it was before. I mean, it's a matter of coming and doing your job night after night after night, and day after day after day. It's a continual thing. And a college coach has the opportunity to have his players 24 hours a day, because they live there. They're recruited, they go on scholarship, and you've got them. They're there. So now you have a system where it's a business. They're going home at night. So you don't have that approach. Now you've got to take it to the time you have and communicate with them in that time period during the day and night that you have the ability to be able to speak to them. So all these things are going to come into play, and Dave Hakstol is going to have to learn as he goes. And I think he's got a great attitude heading into this season.
Head coach, just one of many changes that the Flyers have undergone and ready to put into motion as they get set for the start of training camp. With Steve Coates at Skate Zone, I'm Tim Saunders.